Side out of bounds. They're going to be switching everything back here. Marcus Smart's going to stay up high, taking anybody coming to the ball.
Series on the line. Anunoby got it off, and it goes! Did it count is the question!
Do you know just how many points LeBron will score tonight? Prove that you're a prop bet god with Thrive Fantasy and win cash prizes. Download the app from the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store using the promo code SWING when you sign up. Receive an instant $20 bonus on your first deposit of $20 or more. Thrive Fantasy. Sign up and prop up today. Hello and welcome to The Swing for a very special episode. As always, it's your boy HK and I'm joined by my co-host Owais as we break down what was could I say miraculous? Not miraculous, but an incredible finish to get the Raptors back in their series against the Boston Celtics, 104-103, off a game-winning 3 by OG Anunoby. Got 0.5 seconds. What a game. Owais, I lost my mind. I'm pretty sure I scared a couple of neighbors. But man, what a finish. I don't think everyone is expecting that. You had CP24 already calling it an L.
Check yourself, CP24.
Check yourself.
Check yourself.
But we had a game and a half, and we had the re-emergence of the champion, Kyle Lowry. What a game from start to finish. Talk to me about it.
Well, right off the bat, we know that the Toronto Raptors are a very experienced team, and we have a few veteran leaders, and one of them having to be Kyle Lowry. And he has been consistent for the Toronto Raptors in assuming a certain role that is needed at that particular time. Right now, we needed somebody to step up on the offensive end so that offensive engine could start running the way that it should be. 31 points in 46 minutes, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, and 1 nut shot. And a pass that ended the game in the coldest way possible. Ladies and gentlemen, over a Taco Fall.
Who will obviously have a league record minus 17,280 over 48 minutes because he gave up 3 in half a second. 7'5" man, hands outstretched, and Kyle hits a pocket pass just so immensely perfect that it can barely be comprehended. Right into OG's shooting arc. He barely needed to move from there. Just grab it into your shooting motion. He left it with 0.1 on the clock for what was just ice cold.
Ice cold, baby.
And it left the Celtics ice cold.
They did. They were really sour. Actually, they were more heated, not ice cold. But anyway, talk about Kyle Lowry. Let's talk his game. What did he do differently? What did you like?
Look, much as Kyle talked about in the post-game, he received a text from one of his close friends to tell him to stop waiting. And really, the only understanding of this comes back to stop waiting to assert yourself on the offensive end. Right? Kyle Lowry had 23 shot attempts this game, which is something he needed to do to get himself going. And you can see it had been getting there over a period of time. Right? He had 12 attempts in the first game, trying to get everyone else involved. Didn't work out too well. Better in the second, 16, and now up to 23. And it all comes back to, look, once Kawhi left, we knew that the offense would need to now come from all these people who had been pretty much been facilitating. Lowry had shown himself to already be an offensive juggernaut in previous years, but in the last year, he took that backseat to be able to get Siakam, to be able to get Kawhi involved to the extent that's required to get the team going. But now without Kawhi, you need to have our man step up. And the fact of the matter is, Kyle Lowry stepped up in a historic way in this game. I said, Lowry has had a number of great playoff performances. This ranks right up there. Right, in my mind, right below that Game 6 in the finals last year. This would be his other just renaissance game.
1,000%. I couldn't agree more. Kyle Lowry, the way he dominated, especially, okay, so a lot of people talk about the eye test and how a person looks in the way that they score. Now Kyle's not that flashy Kemba Walker style player, but what he does is he uses his body in such a fantastic way, and he has such good control of it that he is able to even dominate big people in the paint. So you saw a lot of those kind of slashing baskets, those layups that he had, did not look great, but they were a little unorthodox. But he used his body, that big shoulder, that big frame, into the lack of rim protection that Boston does have, and pretty much had pretty easy layups. And that big booty, yes, it does help quite substantially.
Yeah. Look, to get us into that position in the fourth, we were struggling. We were down by 4 points with a minute left. We were down by 6 points with a minute and a half. And in each of those scenarios, it required Kyle to pretty much turn on the Jets. And each time, if you saw, they tried to put Daniel Tice onto him. They were rotating at the end. But Lowry, each time, get his body into him, get his booty into him, and he got the layup without any sort of real contest each time, which is something that Kyle, in some ways, has not been doing as much. It's not that he's done quite a bit of it, but just in this series, he hasn't been doing as much of that, kind of focusing on the three-point shot, the facilitating. But look, Siakam has been, I would say offensively, he's getting better. In that fourth quarter, I saw what I've wanted to see from Pascal. They
a little
tried
more
to switch,
confidence, really.
Yeah, they tried to switch Grant Williams on it at times, which was completely a lost cause for them because that was an easy post bucket twice in a row. And each time, what I liked better about this one is that Pascal didn't necessarily just go for the spin because he's been getting blocked a number of times on that. In fact, he kept going down. He did on the second or third one, but beyond that, he was getting all the way into his space and just putting it up there because he had that advantage and took it to them. That's what Pascal needs to do, because this idea that he needs to just be like dominating every matchup that he has, that's not it. Boston likes to switch around. We need to take advantage of that. When Grant Williams came on him, that was the time for Pascal to go in the post. Barbecue chicken alert. Otherwise, Pascal needs to do what he was doing in the second half, which is kick it out, get the other guys open, and that all came from us actually starting the offense and being much better in the half court.
100%. And what pressure it takes off of people to perform when someone's carrying so much of a load. So Kyle Lowry, thank you for stepping up. But speaking of,
champion.
HK is a big analytics guy, loves his stats, and he wants to talk about averages and what that means in this series so far.
Yeah. Look, we've talked already about how well, plain and simple, how well the defense has been on both sides of the series. The fact of the matter is, the difference that had been was the three-point shooting. And it was surprising in many ways because Boston is just not on the same level as Toronto when it comes to their capability to shoot the three. They were 12th in the league in 3 points made, 12th in the league in three-point percentage, but we're shooting 42% from the three-point line coming into this game. Raptors, on the other hand, top 3 points made, 14 a game. Top 5 3-point percentage, nearly 38% of a game. And all of that comes back to getting that regression back to where we should be. And that's what's happened. The Raptors have taken an exact 40 amount of 3-point attempts each game. Game 1, Game 2, Game 3, 40. But the difference is the 3-point mades have gone up. We're getting back to where we should be. 10 in the first, 11 in the second, 13 in the third. Which, where Boston should be worried, is that they're going back to where they have been. 17 of 39 in the first game, ridiculous. 15 of 38 in the second, ridiculous as well, but more so because that was propped up by Marcus Smart's crazy run. So in my mind, that was where we're starting to see Boston go. And that came full circle in this game, where they went 9 of 29 from the three-point line. Smart cooled off, shot 2 of 9. Tatum cooled off. And really, it was just Kemba Walker that had an immense game to really push this all the way.
Baby.
So when we're talking about, getting our footing into the series, getting ourselves now into a place of comfort, getting some confidence and momentum back, that's why Boston was so damn shook at the end of this, because they needed this, in my mind, to be 3-0. They needed it to get there so that at that point, it doesn't really matter if you regress to the mean because the series is over.
Yes.
But now Toronto comes in with momentum, regardless of how this game ended, regardless of the fact that an incredible pass led to an incredible shot to get a game from the most improbable of places. But the reality is we are now at 2-1. Toronto comes in with momentum going into Game 4, and they need to capitalize right off the bat because this is their moment.
1,000%. Speaking of these averages, I'm going to trail a little bit in terms of the defensive end. Like HK was saying, we've been playing incredible defense. Actually, Boston has been making some ridiculous amount of pointers during the series so far, but the fact of the matter is, regardless, we have played such incredible defense on these guys, holding them to about 105 points a game, somewhere around there. And that's a lot. There's way below the average that Boston's used to scoring. And so the only difference was we weren't scoring. And now shots are starting to hit. Now the difference between the past few games and these games, I will tell you right off the bat, we're attacking the basket. This is something I've said numerous times, and people, yell at me. They're like, "Wes, you don't know basketball." I'm like, "Yes, I do know basketball." Point is, poor rim protectors. Even your guards, you might get blocked a few times, but that doesn't mean you stop, right? If you need a bucket, go get it. If anything, you get a foul call out of it, even if the refs are a little bit biased. That's okay. I don't care. Get those calls or get those baskets, right? Pascal did a great job in the fourth. I thought he got blocked a few times, but when the mismatch was there, he took care of it and got some big-time buckets, even hit a three. Marc Gasol started the game great, and I was so happy. When Marc's at the three-point line, I understand during the season, he's a great facilitator, and we set up a lot of plays through him. However, in my opinion, I think the Raptors really need to slow it down, get it to him in the paint, and have him attack the basket. There's no one that can match his strength, right? He used to be a premier inside scorer. Start using that to get the offense going, and then at that point they have to look towards trapping you inside, and you have those open shots, right? Hopefully they start to make those open shots going forward. So Marc Gasol, great job in the inside. Kyle Lowry slashing to the basket, big buckets. Van Vliet even tied the game with an incredible left-handed layup.
Circus shot.
Yeah, Pascal Siakam, big-time floaters, hook shots that ended up working out. And by the end of it, the Raptors, unfortunately that bad defensive play, but 0.5 seconds, it gave us an incredible moment in playoff history. Talk about OG Anunoby.
You can't be that hyped talking about OG because he hits it and then walks it as if he's going to the corner store.
Sorry, I wore this because he's ice cold, baby. Woo.
Yeah, we need more. We should have come with a scarf.
Yeah, scarf.
OG
the
scarf
memes.
game is strong.
I think one of the best things about this game was the memes after. Just incredible.
Look, OG has been absolutely ice cold from the outside, and not in the sense that he's missing. He has been our best three-point shooter this series. 8 of 14 now from the three-point line. By far our best. And we talked about the X factors that have needed to show up for the Toronto Raptors to be successful. And OG has shown up throughout this series. This obviously caps it off, and hopefully now shows him to another level.
Let's see it.
But
listen, I apologize for interrupting, but dude, someone get the Boston Celtics an EpiPen. They're having a reaction to what the heck happened with that shot, baby. Sorry, continue. Talk about how he played.
Look, OG has been solid throughout this entire series, right? This defense has been on point. He's been asked to pretty much guard Tatum for the majority of this series. Again, came out in this must-win game, played 45 minutes of just incredible defense all the way through. 3 steals, 2 blocks, apart from just changing around so many shots and so many possessions that he would just blow up.
Absolutely.
But when the moment comes, and look, to me, this wasn't even the first time we've seen OG do this. Look, as far as OG hitting big shots,
Cleveland.
Go back to Cleveland Game 3, right? Obviously, it is all a footnote because LeBron hit the goddamn game winner over him. But OG from that same spot, perfect, just waiting, he's ready. And really, it comes down to how intelligent the entire play was to be able to set up. We've talked about Nick Nurse versus Brad Stevens being a tactical matchup. This entire inbound, in my opinion, was Nick Nurse straight out coaching Brad Stevens. Because Stevens went into the zone, and you could see they were trying to focus heavily on either Siakam or Van Vliet. Van Vliet made 2 different cuts, and on each of them, you saw Marcus Smart trying to play hard on him at the top of the three-point line. And then when he made that second one, he's like, all right, we think that they might lob it into Gasol. So he got Jalen to go into there. What no one saw was OG making that little cut in the back, down the baseline, and just sat there, open for days, completely lost because the focus wasn't on him. But that's where OG has always thrived. He is one of those understated guys. He isn't going to have the emotion behind him. He's not going to have the flash behind him. But when the moment is required, OG delivers. And for Kyle to make the pass into now what is the OG shot, just a sequence that will live on in Raptors history. And it's only just sad that we didn't get to see this in front of 20,000 fans. In fact, I can only imagine if this had happened in Boston, which is what happened, just how this pin drop silence everything would have been for OG to hit that kind of a shot. But man, just hats off. This is the kind of thing we needed to get belief back in ourselves. And
that smile by Kyle Lowry.
That smile, everyone was Kyle that day. See the smile? The smile's not going anywhere. That was Kyle Lowry making the final smile. Same smile that he had then, if you remember, he went into the back when you knew he was going
to the finals.
Yeah, that same kind of smile is there because you know what? The Raptors have life once again. The Raptors have momentum once again. And the Raptors are back in this series. And we need to capitalize. Game 4 must be, in my mind, an absolutely dominating performance to build off of this. Don't give Boston the opportunity to get themselves back in it when they are on the back foot. Take that start early and don't get your foot off their neck.
3 games to win in this series, 11 games to win to the championship.
5 down, 11 to go.
Here we go. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Swing. My name's Owais.
This is HK, and we'll see you after Game 4. Peace.
Hey OG, maybe a stupid question. Just watching, like you showed no emotion after you hit the shot. Like, how did you stay so cool after such a big play?
Oh, like because when I shot, I expected to make it. So like I don't shoot trying to miss. Like every shot I shoot, I try to make it. So I was gonna act surprised because I wasn't surprised.